times where it just really doesn't show up. And I think a newer Pokemon like that is incredibly powerful, but requires a lot of strategy and a lot of focus to get it online can be tough in a situation like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see less and less of it as the tournament goes on.
That makes sense. Something we kind of talked about at the start of yesterday when we were opening the show is the metagame that changes throughout the life cycle of a tournament, and it kind of seems like we're on that Latios downswing, right? We still have quite a few games left today, but there is a world where I kind of think it would be fun, just for the nature of this tournament, for as the fall off happens, teams start picking it late in the draft, where all of a sudden they understand exactly everything that the other team is doing, everything that they're trying to do, and then it's like a huge like gut punch where it's like, and last pick Latios type situation. It's like, oh no, like now this is a problem because we don't have the tools we need to really smother it early.
Yeah, you absolutely can get there, and you do see it happen. Once it starts losing all of that priority, you can pick it in some really interesting spots as it's no longer getting banned. We're going to find out what that looks like here as we head into our first game between Cakekalok and Santos Laguna. This is our draft. First ban for Cakekalok is the Blissey right over to the Latios, so still getting some priority here. And wow, this would be a targeted ban, and it is. Scizor, not what they planned on playing. The Scyther version of it getting banned, so Santos Laguna cannot play it. Charizard back the other way.
Just want to point out, poor Hitman. They couldn't have grabbed a picture with the kid's eyes open here. Come on, help him out one time. Blacklight locking up Ho-Oh real quick. And that's a great pick based on the stats we've seen and the performance we've seen it have when actually in the Sky Ruins.
I think Ho-Oh's unbelievable. It's one of the best things going in the game right now. Next couple picks over to Santos Laguna here. Locking in that Zacian. We've seen a lot of it today. We've seen both Metal Claw and Sacred Sword, so I'm not sure which version we're going to see. Both have some real strong possibilities. Suicune also picked up. Again, this is the most popular Pokemon by pick and or ban throughout the entire tournament. Shocking no one, probably. I think Suicune is just ridiculous.
It's crazy. You and I haven't actually seen any Miraidon games, I don't believe, this weekend, but it has been played for about 15% pick rate there. We need to see where Santos Laguna is going to go now. Of course, Scyther, a key part of their success this weekend, not going to be available to them. But Eldegoss is quickly being hovered, and a Pokemon that has a great win rate this weekend at around 70%.
Yeah, Eldegoss is having an amazing weekend here. And it's one of the... What?
You said, you know it's not Lucario.
Right. Yeah.
It's been a travesty.
There are some moments that Lucario is obviously winning some games, and it's a comfort pick for a lot of these players. They're extremely skilled on the Pokemon, so they can outplay their opponents. But it might be that Lucario's power level just isn't there right now. Interestingly enough, Dragonite, 1% pick rate. I haven't seen it all weekend, so whatever games it was played in, I didn't get to watch them. Finally moving over to Absol, kind of a decent substitute if you like Scyther. There's a lot of similarities there. You've got some great mobility. The Unite move is very devastating. Obviously, it doesn't perform the exact same way, but I could definitely see a player flexing into that.
Yeah, we've actually talked about it. It's like, man, it kind of feels like we would have seen a little bit more Absol. We would have seen a little bit more things like Talonflame.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see such little Talon, but Talon really thrives in a meta where these attackers there are a lot of squishy attackers and they get to dive into the backline, and we haven't seen a lot. I feel like the attackers are not doing well in this meta. A lot of attackers are just not crushing it. The only one we see over here for Cakekalok is the Miraidon. No attacker for Santos Laguna.
If you take a look at this last Mimikyu that Cakekalok locked in, what do you think they're seeing on the Santos Laguna side that says, you know what, Mimikyu can do some work here?
Well, anything that wants to dive in, right, you get to have that opportunity to get them with your Unite move. So Lucario's moving through the battle. Absol decides to jump in. There are a couple good opportunities for that. And Mimikyu is a Zarina, right? Mimikyu is... if you're great on it, this thing is unbelievable. And we're going to see if Cakekalok has that. We head into our first game here of our quarterfinals between these two squads. Cakekalok, your purple team. Santos Laguna, your orange team. This best of three will decide who moves on to the semifinals. And again, these are all single elimination games. So the team that does not win this, heading home.
And I really like Santos Laguna. I really like Cakekalok, two teams that are, I think, outperforming their expectations and looking to keep that ride continuing here at the World Championship.
Nice secures here from Cakekalok, able to get all of that, even though they are being pressured. However, Kira able to take a little bit on the other side. Any sus right here with the Zacian, so difficult to fight early. It just attacks so quickly, looking for a KO, and they get it.
That's a great pickup here. SCG coming through. Santos Laguna season recap. After playing 46 games during the UCS 2025 season, Santos Laguna has almost a 60% win rate.
Pretty impressive when you're playing against some of the best teams in the world all season. Getting ready for our fight here between the lanes here for these birds, and they go down immediately.
Yeah, not even giving the chance for Cakekalok to sniff them here. Kira quickly going for a stack, and now we've got a little bit of posturing. 3v2 in the top.
Yeah, here we go. Anysus looking to see if they're going to actually move in for this fight. They've got the Metal Claw on Zacian. I was wondering which version we would see. Metal Claw seems to be having a weekend also. Like, I've seen a couple Sacred Swords, but mostly it's Metal Claw.
Yeah, it's been having good, like Zacian's, like you said, having a great weekend just alongside Buzzwole, you know? A little bit underrepresented going into this event, but looking great this weekend. Mark G, tons of pressure. They are gone. Anysus peeling back, going to pick up a Pollen Puff, going to top them off. And now we've got a 4v2. SCG has to rotate back just to make sure the pressure is relieved a little bit.
Yeah, Dragonite's a tough Pokemon, right? It takes a long time for this to get online. Moving around as a level 6 Dragonair really does not have the impact that some of these other central area Pokemon might have. We have Absol almost level 8. We have the Zacian level 7 right there. It's a tough spot to be in for Cakekalok.
Great efficiency throughout the map by Santos Laguna, right? Every time a wild Pokemon populates, they have multiple people there to make sure that they are the ones getting the experience so they can stay ahead, which they are right now. And now they're looking for an opportunity to leverage that advantage.
And we see, I mean, some real aggressive positioning here from Santos Laguna. We have Blacklight just trying to deal some damage and frustrate the side of Santos as they're continuing to push towards them with this flamethrower, something that Ho-Oh can do and really not get punished for it at all.
No, up top here, Anysus is really trying to put the screws to Nadiza. They do get a knockout with Mufasa following up. Mark G has to peel back, which means this goal zone is get some points put into it.
Yeah, right now Santos Laguna just feels like they're winning every exchange they run into. Level-wise, they're doing great. We finally do have the Dragonite online, however, for the side of Cakekalok, so we're going to see if the investment in that was worth it.
Heavy slam on Mufasa. Can't quite get the Hyper Beam up in time to get a knockout, and it is a Charge Beam Miraidon as well, so they might be looking for a rip strategy here with the Hyper Beam secure in the days of your big Absol Unite. Can they leverage it? They're pushing forward. Nadiza does go down. They're chasing Blacklight. Blacklight is going to be knocked out as well as Mufasa is on the hunt for another target. They see SCG right now. Can they close the gap? They would love to knock out this Dragonite. As Anysus, the Zacian is up top, getting points in a Regieleki that just hit. And now, finally, SCG goes down. Their target is acquired.
Wow, I mean, this is just devastating for Cakekalok right now. They're losing every single fight. They've lost every moment throughout this match almost, except for a few secures early. They need to get their Pokemon online. They finally do have Dragonite. They've got the Mimikyu now level 9. It did pick up a double KO, so obviously things are swinging back the other way for Cakekalok, but 11 to 220, losing both objectives.
All the way back to their pad with the E-Speed Lucario is Santos Laguna. They're going to sit on pad 3v2 up top. How are they going to adjust? Going straight in, taking some of those birds for themselves is Hitman, who pivots back off the Bone Rush. Minotaur peeling back. Great Sweet and Unite for a couple targets, but nobody in Santos Laguna really wants to fall right now. Anysus decides to dive in. They want SCG. Can they get after it?
Whoa.
Big Aura Cannon from right field gets them done. And all of a sudden, Blacklight finds themselves in the face of 3. Mark G goes down. Santos Laguna is going to beat the brakes off Cakekalok right now. They're getting the cake, and they threw it on the ground.
Unbelievable. 11-284. Santos Laguna absolutely dominating here in game number 1. Cakekalok needs to get this under control. They need to pick up a few KOs. Outside of a Mimikyu moment where they picked up a couple, it feels like everything has been going Santos Laguna's way. Even when they got those KOs and pivot towards the top path, Laguna able to defend and push back. No tier 2 goal zone in the top path for Cakekalok. Zacian has free reign up there as 4 members of Santos move down for this fight.
rolling back through. Hitman's on the chase. Blacklight sees them. They're going to try to burn down the Lucario. Nadiza not willing to get too far ahead now. They're half HP. Heavy Slam is there into the power nap. That's enough for the Regieleki to be taken by Cakekalok, and let's see if they can use it. They're moving forward. Meanwhile, Anysus gets the Regieleki up top. Cotton Cloud Crash is going to land on top of Santos Laguna, and the Mimikyu Unite has been used on the Elgatos. Unfortunately, SCG's on the backside. Big Absol Unite is going to deal a ton of damage, and the pressure continues. Mark G is so low. Mark G is gone, and now Cakekalok is looking to reset, but they catch the Miraidon, and it's dusted by Elgatos. Blacklight just does nothing but press their buttons on the controller, and the Absol wants another one. Can they actually get this knockout? Now you're seeing the pressure that a Ho-Oh can actually put on, stemming that tide.
Wow, I mean, unbelievably strong plays there by Santos. They allowed Cakekalok to push in. Hiding in the tall grass there was Mufasa on the Absol, just setting up a huge play. 331 right now, 211. Santos Laguna absolutely dominating this match. This is going to be a really tough one for Cakekalok to come back from. They have some options, of course. They have a Ho-Oh Unite move for some of the big fights later on. But I mean, look at this level swing right here. They have a level 11 Dragonite and a level 11 Mimikyu. On the other side, that's a 14 Absol, 13 Lucario, 13 Zacian. This is a stomp so far.
Yeah, I'm unimpressed by Lucario's, but if you're this many levels ahead, anything looks good. And that Lucario is e-speeding through the team. Hitman is getting the job done with it. Santos Laguna, with a little bit of an old school draft, saved the Suicune, and I'll tell you what, it's looking solid.
Yeah, Santos Laguna is having an amazing game, and they felt like they were going to have some really solid games. Of course, we're heading into, you know, the quarterfinals here, so all of these teams are insanely good. But right now, Santos Laguna just feels like they have Cakekalok's number. They're going for a score here. They know that Cakekalok is forced to look at this objective in the top path because it creates a game-winning play. But look at this. Zacian able to rip by themselves, and 4 members of Santos going to put the pressure on this goal zone immediately. Even if Cakekalok scores up here, which they will,
is that a clean
we
break?
have points scoring in the bottom path, 80 to 412.
Yeah, I mean, well read by Santos Laguna. Cakekalok getting some points in. And really what Cakekalok needs now, and the way their team is built, is for a full flip, hyper beam, and then everybody needs to get their points in. Let's see how it shakes out.
Yeah, and here we go. Lucario just kind of figuring out where they are right now. Cakekalok obviously has to be the team to make a play right here. If they can get a couple down, then a revive by Ho-Oh, they can turn on Rayquaza and go for that flip. They move in, looking for the Suicune.
Kira
They
goes
get
down.
it.
Okay, the Mimikyu is in there. It gets a knockout on the Suicune. Eldegoss is still standing, but the pressure continues. Dragonite takes to the sky. Where are they going to land? SCG is looking for more targets here. The Suicune's almost back. Mufasa is getting boxed out. Nadiza's right there for a block separation. Minotaur gets split from the Anysus. Now Minotaur gets taken out. Mark G's looking for a new target. Hitman's low on HP. Anysus is low on HP. Kira's Field finally pulling back. Mark G just misses the Shadow Sneak. The revive is coming back. Can they get more targets in? Rayquaza's getting worked on. SCG need to get in there, but the Unite move catches the Dragonite, and they're down. They don't have their secure tool. Here comes the big charged up Unite move by the Zacian, but it's too early. Rayquaza's on a sliver of HP. Who's gonna take it? It looks like it's gonna be Santos Laguna getting it done with the entire team wiped on the side of Cakekalok. Like I said, that cake absolutely thrown on the ground.
Amazing stuff from Santos Laguna, controlling that fight from top to bottom. A quadra KO from the EXP share Suicune as they had to manage a few of their players going down. I love the pivot, throwing Lucario back in, trying to take down Dragonite. As soon as Dragonite thought maybe they could have gotten away from that situation, we had Zacian move in to finish them off. Beautiful play. Even if Cakekalok was able to secure that Rayquaza with just the Ho-Oh, it would not have made a difference with how many points Santos Laguna had already put on the board. Incredibly dominant performance from Santos Laguna here in game number 1.
Oh yeah, from beginning to end, this was the Santos Laguna show. There's no doubt about it. And they were just more efficient throughout the map, right? They were making sure and guaranteeing that free farm early, and they were able to easily use that advantage to build and build and build and build till finally they became inevitable.
Yeah, incredible stuff there. I mean, what a game win. Obviously, if you're Santos Laguna, you feel fantastic. You can use that composition again, but with that kind of wind in your sails, I don't think you need to stress about too much. Cakekalok is in a lot of trouble right now. Sometimes I think teams bounce back from a stomp pretty well because it's a situation of every single thing going wrong in a match. It's hard to worry too much when not a single thing went right. You know,
Sure.
You can get back in there. You can have a much better game. I don't know if that means their strategy will change or not, but one thing is for sure, they are going to need to look very different in game number 2.
Yeah, if you thought just taking the Scyther out of the hands of Santos Laguna was going to be the end-all, be-all, you just learned a tough lesson, Cakekalok, because they have more in the tank. That Aura Cannon from Jupiter was awesome.
So unbelievably mean. And you don't know exactly what you're aiming for, but you're hoping that you can grab them. You've got the vision there, but it's always tough to make a play like that work. And they were just putting that pressure on after they saw them heading back to base. Nice fight here from Cakekalok, but the Lucario moving in, Zacian moving in to try to pick up some KOs. Nice big Unite move there. Again, even if Blacklight's able to get this secure, it wouldn't have been the difference maker at that point.
No, not at all. Not at all. Staying in the pocket very well were the rest of the team there. As we take a look at our 2 MVPs, we've got Kira, the most valuable player, and we've got Pelipper, the most valuable Pokemon.
That's right. Right below Pelipper, of course, we have Suicune that Kira used in this match. This thing is just so good. It's absolutely